prodigal daughter returns.
Should have killed you in Washington.
Yeah, big mistake.
Should have killed you in Washington.
Yeah, big mistake.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
All right, so let's get back to what we're doing over here. So I'm Nicole Kapuscinski. I am one of the hosts of the People's Platform. This is way harder to do than what it looks or when you plan, because you can't keep editing out stuff. Oh, here goes Bree. Bree's back in. I think that's the other thing. Kicked out. She got kicked out this morning. Let's see.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's making me use the app and my camera is not working.
Now the camera went down.
Yeah.
I said
But
I told
it won't
you
let me
earlier.
do it. It won't let me just do it on the browser anymore. Like once you went live,
Yeah.
it makes me switch to the app.
Oh, probably because I'm recording.
Okay.
We're recording now. But hey, no biggie.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out.
We will
I think
figure it out as
I
we
think it's
go.
also because my phone has like no service, so maybe it's just not enough to connect.
Well, is it giving you the option to put a little picture on you?
Let me see if it
your
does
little avatar. If it's not going to let you have that.
Okay, yeah, it says upload an image.
Ooh.
Okay, hold on. Let me get a selfie.
The raw and uncut version. Let me get a drink of my coffee over here. Well, we were supposed to do live starting at 10 a.m. We've had technical difficulties since 8:30, pretty much. I think Bree keeps going in and out. We keep dropping. Her signal keeps dropping. We start pushing record, and now all we're getting is the little, which, yep, you can see it. I got it. So all you can see now is her little no profile pic. That's what Facebook would call it.
Right. I'm trying to see if I can get a picture up there. Hold on.
Happy New Year to those. Just celebrated the 2025 New Year Eve ball drop. I don't know if anybody had a party. I was asleep. No, actually I wasn't, but we didn't realize that it had even hit midnight until like 12:06. And then it was like, oh, and then I was out and I fell asleep. So I did make it through
There we go. I got a selfie.
The New Year's.
All right. That's all you guys are getting from me today.
You look so cute. And then it does the little, your microphone, and it does a little pulsating thing. Oh,
nice.
Okay. So let's get right into it, shall we? So what do you know about the 2024 switchover? Anything, Bree?
No, actually, I don't really know anybody. I don't know who was sworn in this time. I haven't.
Well, this year, right? 2025. But
yeah.
last year, you weren't really into what should I say, politics or elections, right? Until like kind of pulled you in. Oh, it was the Malarkey, right? Oh, that's what I was going to talk about, because a lot of people are like, well, how did you get connected with all these people? Well,
Right. So Malarkey, it was like near where I lived, I didn't even get into like politics really until like a couple months after that because but that's what like got me into it was because like I just didn't realize that politics like played into that stuff. And then, like I met with you and Catherine Callahan, and then like I watched the live stream meetings because I had just had a baby like around that time. So I wasn't going to the meetings, but I was watching them. And then like now I actually attend meetings where I live now. But yeah, the Malarkey stuff was crazy.
And we kind of adopted you like
Yeah.
that process because it was like, it seems like every topic, if it has to go through city or county council, there's always like this pro team, there's always an anti team.
Right.
And I learned a long time ago, you team up with everybody that's on the same wavelength, like it just helps the mission better if you guys know what you're doing when you go into these rooms instead of like stepping on each other's toes.
Right.
So,
And I didn't know anything really in the beginning, and I've learned a lot from all of you guys. So
I think I learned a lot too because I really wasn't into the local politics myself until after the Hodson thing, which I said I wasn't going to really touch on it today. We'll have a whole episode on all things Kenneth Hodson. The 2025 switch up, we got him voted out last year. So that was like my triumphant activism thing for 2024. I think we won. Because I wasn't for his opposition. I wasn't on the campaign's opposition. I just put the Hodson is a liar sign up in my front yard, and I had all kinds of people tell me they didn't vote for him and they voted for Martha Green. So that was kind of cool. I think it was like 10,000 to like 3,000. So that's pretty good because he won the last time, and I think it was election fraud. I think I can prove it, but we're waiting on that investigation. I should be after Catherine. So hopefully we'll know something in the next couple weeks. But it was kind of interesting that like last year, or I should say 2024, 2023 was when I really got like myself into local politics with like the city council. And the Republican Party has disowned me as a combat veteran. That is like so disheartening. And so when you get disowned by your own party and you're dealing with a bunch of what I call mean girls in politics that just
you can't sit with us.
Yeah, that just happen to be somebody keeps calling me and I'm like, dude, I can't even answer the phone. Like, really? The mean girl, the politics. Yeah. So it's like, all right, so I don't fit in with their turtle club. I'm not your typical Republican, even though I tend to vote. Well, I don't even know what I am anymore. And then once they disowned me, like last year, okay, this is so funny. Well, not funny, because I guess people could be mad at me, but Rebecca Crooms, man. Like Rebecca Crooms came out of 2023 for me, like an MVP of like local politics,
Right.
And she did all them videos. I was watching the videos. I was gleaning from her information. And so I was really looking forward to her winning. And she didn't win. And so
I know I was really upset that she didn't win. I was really pulling for her too.
So that, well, both, because
I'm
she
like, there's no way. Honestly, there's no way. But
I really thought she
hopefully next year, or I mean, I don't know. I just hope people get more informed.
Okay. Yeah. So this is what we plan to do. That's kind of basically where the All Out of Bubblegum, the People's Platform podcast came out of the idea of getting people informed. I mean, it should not take this long for anyone to just learn who your local politicians are. Why aren't we having debates? I thought everybody had to have debates each season or every election cycle, but they don't. And some people just go in there, they put their name on the ballot, and boom,
and they get elected in. Yeah, it's crazy.
It doesn't mean that they know what they're doing or that they have any background, which is okay. Sometimes people without backgrounds make great politicians.
Right.
But there's other ones out there that have made it in and they do just fine. Tiffany Harless has really impressed me this year, but okay, let's go back. So I wanted to show people, if you want to know who won in the local elections for each cycle, this right here, I just went to, let me go backwards. So I just got onto the Google screen, typed in 2024 Madison County, Indiana election results. Okay, boom. Madison County election results. So there we go. All right, my dog's barking. You hear that? Man, I tell you what, I am not going to have a solid. Okay, I'm going to get onto this other screen for you guys. I'm going to walk away to go. Let me see. I got to get this other one up. Okay, so once you tap on the year you want, okay, this is the summary report, the official results over here for Madison County, Indiana election, general election, November 5th, 2024. So this tells you precincts counted. Okay, so there is 112 precincts, which we can get into that in a minute because I'm going to have to go let this dog out so that I can carry on without being interrupted. So where Bree has little toddlers, I have dogs.
You have fur babies.
Fur babies that require a lot of attention. So I am going to, okay, like this right here. I'm just going to leave it on this screen for a minute so you can kind of look at who the numbers for like the President Trump, vice president, and it kind of breaks it down each sector, like each precinct and how they voted. And then the straight party numbers, state representatives, and then I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm back.
All
and
right.
I realize what it is. This guy has called me out of the blue and just showed up to the house, and he's out there at the gate. That's why the dogs are going off. It's like, dude, I just texted you and said I'm podcasting. So strike that. But it's like, I'm trying. This morning has not went as smooth as possible. But
no.
That's why I don't plan.
My Wi-Fi went out.
I'm trying not to plan too much, so you just get to go with the raw, uncut version. Because I'm not going out there. I've already started recording.
Listen, what you see is what you get.
I sent him a text message. See, look. I'm
podcasting.
I'm podcasting, okay? And he's out there at my gate. Like, sorry, buddy. Leave
Nope.
the package.
Nope.
Okay, so let's
Please,
go back to this. So, okay.
Don't show up to my house unannounced.
Well, and it was like, dude, this is like so. This doesn't happen. Like, this doesn't happen. And he's trying to drop off some egg crates, which, okay, fine. But, like, you didn't even tell me you was coming, like, 24 hours ago. And you want me to just be like,
I'm in my pajamas. No, just kidding.
Well, I'm not in my pajamas. I
know. That's what I would be saying.
But I kind of am. This is the sweatpant outfit I got from my mom's funeral this year, which is funny because my mom was eccentric. And so I thought I wanted to be comfortable at the funeral or showing or whatever it was. So I bought a sweat outfit that had a really cool design on it. So it worked.
Right.
Okay, so let's carry on. back to election results for Madison County. Kind of shows, I thought Robbie Slaughter, this little guy, he really impressed me with how outgoing he was. And I was really, he was like the underdog of this race, the District 5, with Victoria Sparks, which she's already causing a big old stir. I don't know if anybody's following the news on that one, but I think she said she didn't want to be on any committees. But I mean, Larry Savage,
Weird.
That's why Larry Savage, she said she wasn't going to run again. That's why he put his bid in. And that kind of backfired, but we won't talk about that today. But, she said she wasn't coming back. And then she said she was coming back. And then it kind of messed up a bunch of people. So their little race they had was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And that's election results for 2024. Okay. Now I just realized I want election results for 2023. General election report. Let's see. Okay. So it was smaller. The 2023 race was smaller because it didn't have the presidential stuff in it. But was that the one with the precinct? Or no, the precincts was 2024. Okay. So here's the 2023 results. So sorry about that, folks. That was the wrong screen. Oopsie. Okay, so let's see, this one's that's 2022. So yeah, so 2022, was that? No, wait. See how, it was that one. Okay, here we go. November 7th, 2023. This really was when I started the homeless coalition stuff. And this race became important because I didn't know people use stuff like homelessness for their campaigns. Like homelessness is not a campaign, like something to put on your platform.
Yeah, like you're exploiting like a vulnerable group of people for gain in your.
That's kind of how I feel. Like,
you know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of, yeah.
Didn't she vote? Wasn't she pro Malarkey, Rachel Landers?
I believe she voted yes, but I don't recall what the final vote was from her. I think originally she was a yes.
Okay.
I think I could be wrong. I think it was one of the ladies. It was one of the females that voted no, I believe, the first time around.
Okay.
But then Landers was on social media, like publicly supporting and saying that Malarkey had no ties to ISIS when the Department of Justice says that they were uncooperative in an investigation. So they are just as much at fault. Yeah,
I read that article.
So they're just as much as fault. And she was, and I provided those links to her and even highlighted the areas, and she still said she did not think that they were in the wrong. I have a reel up about it on Facebook still, I think, with my Greg Winkler reels.
If you want to see some of our political reels that we've made in the last couple of years, you can check our Facebook profiles out. Okay, so let me blow this up. Okay, so I don't know.
YouTube.
Or on YouTube. I forgot the YouTube channel has it too.
Yeah, most of them.
Okay, so on this right here, I didn't know that, like, I guess, and being a combat veteran, I thought I knew a little bit about stuff. And I didn't realize until I got much older that I didn't know as much as I thought I did.
Right.
So I started learning kind of in the 2023 timeframe when we started doing the Homeless Community Coalition that you have different, like, not everybody runs in like in the big presidential elections. Those are like I think we did precincts in 2024, but in like this one in 2023, municipal is just like the local elections. Okay. So we scroll down.
So that says that there's a total of 47,333 registered voters, but only 11,230 people casted a ballot.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's what it says.
That
And
is
that's
really crazy. That is really, I feel like that is really low numbers.
It is, because I feel like a lot of people are tired of politics, but and a lot like we don't know. So most people are like, well, if I don't have the information readily available to me, they don't really care to vote. Well, now the lack of voting is like manifesting out here in the streets, and it's kind of sad locally.
Right.
But here, like 28 blank ballots were cast. Okay. 23.
Why'd they let 28 blank ballots be cast?
I don't know. There's the election stuff. I mean, we got a bunch of election complaints in. I got several election complaints in. I can't get an investigation to save my life. Catherine's still working on hers. It's crazy. But then Larry Savage does whatever with the missing ballot thing. They could have called and got it back and still done whatever they wanted to do, and slapped him with some fines if they wanted. But then we're still waiting on an investigation, and we have like receipts, facts, and you can't deny not voting in Madison County for like.
Yep, and they prioritize what they want. So
Right. So okay, so straight party. This is the other thing that messes us up a little bit. Straight party voting. Yeah, it's great. A lot of older people do it. You see how it kind of split as far as 49% voted straight ticket, and then 50% of Democrats voted straight ticket. Not very many libertarians in Madison County, it seems. Overvotes 1. Interesting. Undervotes 6,998. Oh, it might mean that they didn't vote for everybody on their card. Okay. Because I think because this right here.
So what is an overvote and an undervote?
That is a good question. Let's Google it. Okay. I'm going to switch to this screen. Okay, it looks like overvote. What is an overvote? An overvote occurs when one votes more than the maximum number of selections allowed in a contest. Oh, okay. So like if you can only vote for 3, somebody might have voted for 4.
So
right?
Does that make their ballot invalid?
Possibly. Let's see. That would probably be a Catherine question.
Well, that would be a good question.
Okay,
if there's 6,000, and if there's 6,000 of those.
No, those are undervote.
That's the one.
That's the undervote.
Okay, the undervote.
The overvote would be voting for 2 candidates in a single race with the instruction vote for not more than one. Right. Robert's Rules of Order notes that such votes are illegal. So it would make it illegal.
Right. Okay. So it would be invalid.
Okay. Here now, this one says here's undervotes. Okay. So undervotes combined with overvotes, known as residual votes, can be an academic indicator in evaluating the accuracy of a voting system when recording voter intent. You know what? I don't like the word intent, just so you know. I'm going to put this
It
I
reminds me of somebody.
I didn't intend to kick the cat when I kicked the cat. Like my intention was just to walk around it, and he walked in front of me. But you can look at it and tell whatever.
Right.
I just don't like intent. Okay. All right. So there's overvote. I'm putting the link in the event, on the event discussion wall on Facebook. If you're following along on Facebook, we'll figure out how to do, since we're doing a live recording, I don't know if it would show up. We'll figure all that out later. We're new. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay, so the overvote, undervote. So let's go back over here. What do I got?
Okay, Nicole, who can we quote? We're new at this.
Who is that?
If you know, you know.
Linda Smith.
Yeah.
Clerk Linda Smith. Got it. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
Brain fart. Sorry, I couldn't remember her name.
Excuse for like 2 years now. We're new.
I know.
We're new. You're not. You are in like one of the highest positions in the county, and you should
Are you
know
new
what.
here? Right. Are you new here?
Okay, so wait, was that the right one? No. Okay, guys, I got myself all. Okay, no, here it is. Let's go back over here. Okay, that's actually, you know, even though me and John Dyer, we get into our little fusses online, I was kind of, I don't know, I did slam him a little bit, because I couldn't.
Oh, he ran for the mayor.
He ran for the mayor, and 267 people voted for him.
And this is 2023. 20. Yeah.
Yeah, November 7th, 2023. So it would have been, they would have came into office in January 2024 of last year if they would have won. So Thomas Broderick won again. So, of course, there was no switch over there. I voted for John Bell. I'm ready for a change in the mayor of Anderson. I haven't had good experiences with Mayor Broderick.
Right. I would really love to not have the mayor roll his eyes at people when they talk, but.
Or like the staff members. I mean, the staff members act like they want to tell us that we can't do this, and this. And then the staff members get in there and call us drama queens and stuff behind our back, laugh and snicker. And they want to tell us that we don't know what they're talking about. Well, they shouldn't be talking at all while people are up at the podium trying to talk to city council.
Right. Let us call someone a drama queen from the audience.
Right.
They'd be kicking us out.
Kicked out. Hence how we won't go into that because Catherine's not here to talk. The other ones.
Right. Stay on topic.
Yeah. Carrying on. All right. So, well, John Dyer, I think people are just really wanting a change. John Bell came pretty close. I did vote for John Bell on this one just because, and look how close that is. That's within a 100 vote window. Okay. So 100 more people voted for him. That's an odd number, but okay, fine. We'll let you go there. Oh, but notice that the numbers don't line up with, maybe they do. Well, I'd have to have my calculator. It's too early on a Saturday to do math right now, so I'm not doing it. Clerk. Okay. I like Sheila. I do. I'm kind of torn there. But no candidate has ran against her. And she dresses really nice. She always looks pretty. Judges.
I have never heard of her.
Okay, so here we go into this is where I wanted to talk about. Okay. Actually, this calls for the Jennifer Culp clip where she tells me to go sit down. Okay, let's go do that real quick. Reels. So let's recap this little clip I'm getting ready to show you. It was city council meeting, and I was trying to bring up the fact that Greg Winkler had just said, he got up there about one of my Facebook posts, and
just last month, right?
Yeah, this was 12. what's the date on there? 12/19. It's a special council meeting. One of them has 4,900 views. I'm going to click, and then so basically what's going on here is Greg Winkler, I made a Facebook post about Max Winkler. Okay. Google Max Winkler. It's Greg Winkler's son. He committed a heinous murder. There's other videos on YouTube. You can see it clips it all together. But he got up there and he talked about my Facebook post, so I wanted to rebuttal it, right? And I'll just let you see what happens here. Okay, so he's going off because of something that Lindsey Brown just said, okay? And Lindsey Brown called him out because there were $700,000, which at the end of this clip will go into some of the ARPAs, the ARPA fund, and what just happened at the end of 2024. But
it sounds like Lindsey's more interested in trying to embarrass the administration, who he is, I'm not done, than he is to get funding for these folks. I just stood here and said, if you think these folks deserve to be funded, fund them and let's move on. We can blame the administration later.
Note, Greg Winkler is the administration, so he's pounding, blame us later. Okay, yeah. No, we want to blame you right now, Greg, and you don't like being held accountable.
You're voting on this resolution.
Nicole Kapuscinski, Spring Hill Road, 46016. And I just want to say that while you guys are busy up here making decisions every special meeting, city council meeting, sometimes you have staff members back here laughing and antagonizing the people at the podium. So when we're trying to speak and you have people back here laughing, snickering, or whispering and saying that we're drama queens and stuff like that, it starts getting very irritable. So
I don't know what they were saying, Nicole.
It doesn't
You had no idea. You had no idea what was going on. You had no idea what was going on. Nicole, you have no idea. This has nothing to do with what's happening.
And then I go, you guys live. You live.
You need to
You need to let her speak.
Yeah, that's what they do. They got me blocked on social media.
Yeah, go sit down.
Okay, go sit down.
Go sit down,
That's
Cole.
fine, because your husband was name calling me on social media. Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Not the gavel.
Okay, so anyway,
Okay,
Jennifer
so can I just add real quick
yeah,
that Jennifer Culp said that you have no idea what was said, right?
right.
Even though I was up there and I can't recall the date right now, but we could find
was November.
Rebecca Krim's video.
It was November. Or August?
And I went in there and I spoke, and when I was waiting to speak, Greg Winkler called actually while Rebecca and Cheryl were up there getting ready to talk, and he called them drama queens while Rebecca was talking. And I turned around and I told him he was about to be really sick of me here in a second. And then I addressed it to the entire council that Greg Winkler was back there calling us drama queens with the attorney. And they were back there talking crap the whole time. And the mayor was back there rolling his eyes at the public. I addressed it to the whole entire council. Jennifer Culp was present at that meeting. So for her to say that you have no idea what was said is really a slap in the face, because I addressed it to them in a meeting.
And I was referencing like in general, like not just like what happened at the meeting previously, because I also clipped where they were laughing and giggling.
But that just shows that they don't listen to the public when they bring their concerns to them, because she would have remembered that specifically I said he was back there calling us drama queens, which matched what you said when you got up there.
Okay, and actually I just pulled it up. So this is you.
Oh God.
It's the beauty of recording. Okay. So.
Just speaking as a concerned citizen, I'm Brianna Davis, Madison County.
Well, they cut me off.
I'm a concerned mother of two young children. The quality of our water is, like they said and admitted earlier, it has the forever chemicals in it, and they're past the action level. And then Greg Graham just confirmed that for 20 years, our local government failed the people, failed the community, and didn't do anything about our water. And now the citizens are having to pay for it. I think it's super disrespectful that you guys are asking the public to take this responsibility, and you have the mayor back here in your audience rolling their eyes at the public, like Rebecca Crooms bringing up these concerns. You have Greg Winkler back here making comments about how this is just drama. Do you guys remember what else was just drama? When he did zero research and you guys almost brought a company tied to ISIS to our city. That was also just drama. So I'm saying that it is highly unprofessional for all of that to go on. And I'm not trying to pick at you, sir. I don't think that the cuss word that you used was like harsh or anything, but I'm just saying that if any of the public members came up here to the podium and a cuss word were to come out of their mouth, I'm more than positive that you would ask them to be removed from the podium. Oh, it's on recording, so if you would like to go to Rebecca Croom's Facebook Live or even your minute meetings, it would be in there. If you
I didn't realize it was 6 minutes.
But again, it's just super disrespectful that you guys.
Anyway, that was the point. Like, so I was bringing up in this clip over here that I just shared, this one right here, when I got triggered, I was like, dude, it happens all the time. So, and really, if you look at Robert's rules, okay, they're not supposed to, the city council is not supposed to interrupt you. We're not even allowed to be able to heckle from the audience. So they pick and choose how to,
Right. And it's also like really ironic that that was like within like a month time span of Greg Winkler getting up there and addressing a social media post. And somebody else in a organization for the city or whatever had gotten up there and addressed a social media post. And most of the time, if like we were to come up and address something on social media, like they would say that it wasn't on topic. So it's like really weird that they just let them come in and say like stuff that doesn't even have anything to do with the meeting. And then they want to shut down the public when they want to address their concerns about it.
Right. But they won't let us talk about things on social media. So we have to go to social media to get some of the stories out to the public, you know, and
Careful.
I've been telling my husband, you know, I don't want to be this person, you know, I don't want to argue. I kind of feel like a Karen sometimes, but then it's like, but this is like our whole entire community. Like
is affected because those are the people that make decisions about like our schools, about how much our officers make, and like how they want to protect our community. And like if there's not good morale, then there's not, you know what I mean, like then it just is kind of pointless. Like they're just up there like taking advantage of their positions, in my personal opinion, when like really I feel like people in those positions should be like more involved and like concerned about the community and like wanting them to be involved. Like they act like it's like literally a nuisance when anyone from the public comes to talk. And it's just like,
so that's
crazy.
It's an escalation. Like, and so me getting up there and saying something, which I go into after I calm down. So I leave because I knew I was getting ready to get gavelled. And so technically, even if it's not like a verbal warning, that was my first warning. And I didn't feel like getting kicked out at the beginning of the meeting because I had more to say. But this really is frustrating when it comes to Jennifer Colt because I didn't know. And I don't know, just I've been under attack by politicians for like the last couple years. And I thought that to be a politician, you had to be adultier than everybody else.
Right.
No,
that's what I thought too. That's like my common like concept, like, you know, about people in those positions. Like they should be more professional. They should be more, I guess, like save face. Like when they're in public, like they should like hold themselves to a higher standard. And like, not to say that we shouldn't hold ourselves to a higher standard, but like they're in positions that like expect them to be like a halfway decent person with halfway decent like morals and ethics. And I feel like if you're going to be like, isn't that like a thing, like political ethics? Like I feel like
I thought
a bunch of people in our local government don't have
You know, and I get in trouble a lot. I've gotten in trouble a lot since I was a little kid. You know, oh, you can't tell. I've got tattoos. I get put in timeouts. I mean, like, I can't stand for somebody to tell me that I can't have an opinion or that I can't say this or I can't say that because they don't agree with it. Well,
Right.
last time I checked, this was America. And
Right.
I don't like.
And it's like, okay, if you want to dictate it in your meetings, then, and you want to abuse your power to do that, then okay, but don't get up there and talk about people's social media posts where it's like literally like a platform where people can go and use their voice. Like they don't dictate that platform.
Right.
Like they can't try to jump in and then get mad when you want to rebuttal. Like
But you
it's
know,
just
they
right.
did make it an ordinance while during the pandemic lockdown that they reserve the right to delete comments off of social media. And that's
on
not
their post.
like it's on their the city government, and I understand.
Right, but we can post whatever we want on our pages. And you had posted something that was on your personal page.
Right. They
And
just
Greg
didn't
Winkler
like
wanted to get up there and complain about it. And it's like
right.
you don't get to dictate what Nicole posts on her page out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if you guys want to do that in your meetings, okay, we're just going to record you and show everybody. But if you want to try to do that on our platforms that you don't have
And
any
Bree,
right to dictate.
what was the fact I was getting ready to bring? Do you know what the fact was? Did I tell you? I was getting ready to say 3 bullets and he slit his throat. That's a fact. That's like homicidal murderer crap. And like you can sit there and say mental health and try to pull the crazy card, whatever. But I got more documents getting ready to come out here in the next couple weeks that show like dude was Winkler cut his cat's ear off when he was 3. Okay,
Right,
they talked
and that
about
like
it in
even the
interrogation.
schools had like
Right?
concerns and stuff.
They let him after he shot and killed Henry Kim. He was allowed to go to school. Like,
Yeah, there's even a
parents
news
don't come
article
out.
on it. Like parents were super concerned that he was allowed to be at school. Students were like calling their parents saying like he's at school today. Like and the administration like they had released a statement in the news article that I had read.
Right. And so I didn't even know any of this stuff until I think you were the one that pointed it out the first round
Right.
after he had pulled that crap with
Because
you.
he's aggressive in the meetings during Malarkey. He literally made a comment that was like, someone said, "Can you guarantee that the Malarkey plant won't permit formaldehyde?" And he said, "About as much as you can guarantee that you'll make it home safe tonight."
He makes rude comments. He's
Which
rude.
is that is just like kind of like a wild and like to me, I feel like it's a little bit of an aggressive comment to make. Like like up there representing the city, I don't think that that's like really appropriate to come out of his mouth.
Right.
But I mean, to each their own. But then he goes up there and he's yelling at who he thinks was Lindsay and turns around and he's yelling at you in your face.
I know,
And
it was funny.
and that is like that's super aggressive. Like it's
But
just
I just stood there though. I just stood there. I was like,
I know. And
buddy.
and I don't know that I would have jumped back. Like I would have been like, why are you yelling at me? Like, why are you raising your voice? Why are you turning around?
Pretty pumped
Like,
up.
you are supposed to be you're supposed to be facing the podium and speaking to the council. You are not supposed to be speaking
He's
to the
not,
public.
but he's not even an elected official. Okay,
Right.
nobody voted for him. He is a hired hand. Okay, he's a staff member. Like, really? So now the city council allows their employees and their staff members to talk to voters and taxpayers however he wants. And notice they didn't even gavel him when he was up there saying what he was saying. So, I mean, if I was to go up there and I was to pound on the podium, I would get in trouble. I would have been gavelled at least 5 times and probably kicked out.
Yep.
So anyway, the whole Jennifer Culp thing is going to be, I think she wants to try to go for president of the city council.
Which is really funny also because she blocked me on Facebook.
Jennifer Culp did too?
Yes, she has my Facebook account blocked. I'm not really sure why. I've never
wait, Landers too, right?
I don't know. I think so. I'd have to go and check. It was Mike Hill Vaughn, but he's unblocked me since. But she has me blocked, but I saw her Instagram account when she posted that Todd Culp got the auditor's office, whatever, and her Instagram is full of like quotes of like Jesus and like quotes from the Bible and stuff like that. And then you have Todd Culp on social media, her husband, saying, "Who is this guy named Jesus and why do I need him?" Like mocking him, mocking
Well,
the idea of Jesus.
even if he was trying to be like, I know who Jesus is. What does Jesus mean to you? Right? Why?
It's mocking it though. It's
But
disrespectful,
yeah,
and like
and
for her,
then
it's kind of ironic for her to have that up on her page, and for them both to use that in their responses during their campaigns. I just wanted to point that out. It was a
and he's a
little
public
ironic.
official.
Yep.
He's a public official. He's not like the whole argument or debate started because somebody asked him to share. Jamie Lynn asked him to share the Steve Sumner flyer with the $25,000 reward, for to find Steve Sumner. And he said Jamie Lynn needed counseling and was kind of quite rude. But I want to show you here. So like
it just seems like that whole family is really rude, and they don't even care to hide it on social media.
So, and the reason why we're doing the recap going into 2025 is because 3 Colts just made it through the switchover this year. And
yeah,
it's
the
going
same
to
people.
be really interesting in Madison County with the Colt family having so many positions. So here's the other deal.
Yeah, we'll see how they treat people this year.
They just ruled in the Supreme Court about politicians blocking their opposition. Okay. We're not cussing at anybody. We're asking questions, okay, real questions about certain things that are happening in our community, and these people are supposed to be the ones to be able to answer it. But I'm learning now that, like, even though they play such a huge role in how our government is ran, and they the purse strings, they hold the purse strings to the city. That's it. Like they influence in their sphere of influence, but nobody's really in charge around here. And it seems like the employees and staff members at like the city, the courthouse and stuff like that, they have more power than anybody else. And that's not the case. Like they may be running things, but the taxpayers, the voters, we're the ones that are paying their salaries each year. Like if they didn't have homeowners or business owners paying property taxes on these things,
yep,
where do they get their money? Taxpayers. Yep. So it doesn't matter if you're actually the one paying the property tax. This dawned on me the other day too. If you're going to a gas station to buy things, okay, because the gas station was a big old topic because we have so many, but you're buying at their establishment. Okay, the money, the business transactions that you're making, you're helping them pay property taxes. So essentially, you're a local taxpayer helping even the local businesses in Anderson pay taxes. They shouldn't treat us like crap if our tax dollars is what's paying their income weekly or monthly. Or
well, not even that, because they get their money from us. It's just like they are literally running for positions that is supposed to be like part of the community and like to make the community like run efficient and better, and like it just seems like they don't care to do that. Like it's like let's bring a business in that's tied to ISIS. Let's tell people that they can't speak at the podium. Like let's complain and call them drama queens whenever they're like right about something. You know what I mean? Like it's just like they should have a different mindset. Not even just, and it's like not even just for the money. Like it's genuinely they should be in those positions and have the mindset that they want to make their community better. They want to serve the community, they want to serve the people. Like why are you in there if that's not what your intent is?
Ooh, look at this. Murphy versus Missouri from June 26, 2024. 2 plaintiffs, 2 states, and 5 social media users sued dozens of executive branch officials and agencies alleging, let's see what it says. Oh, that's too many words. Okay, basically what I was trying to point out is that the Supreme Court ruled that if politicians are going to be using their personal accounts to alert the public to certain things going on in the government, that they can't block their opposition. And so what we're saying now is Jennifer Culp has blocked her opposition. She's probably blocked like anybody that doesn't agree with her is probably blocked. They got me blocked. The Women's Republican Party has me blocked. You know what? Because I ask questions. I'm a combat veteran. Am I not allowed to ask my freaking
You're a citizen.
local government what's going on and expect to get an answer to where I walk away understanding how things work?
No,
that's
Nicole,
not
you're not allowed to. How dare you?
Yes, how dare
And
me ask
don't you dare
questions.
give anybody else the idea that they're allowed to.
So, just as this is a prelude of behaviors of how this is going to continue. Okay. And by the end of 2024, she's telling me to go sit down. I'm going to get other clips of her yelling at people in the audience. It's just a matter of me finding them. So anyway, carrying on. I was really upset to see Brandon Collins lose out. I think he would have made a good council member. I was kind of sad he lost out in the county one too, but you know, if he keeps coming back, who knows? He might get something later. But Jennifer Culp, she cannot control herself. She's not as smart as she thinks she is, and she ran. This is what's sad. I would not give my $100 to her or Todd. Okay, if it was the last $100 I had, I would not give it to them to spend for me. Okay, so why we're letting them have all this money to play with and waste because it's not theirs. So it doesn't really matter what happens to it, even though she pretends like she cares for some people. If you see how she treats other people, that's how she is. That's I don't care if I get on your nerves or not. You don't talk to people the way that she talks to people. And then when you defend yourself, you're not allowed to defend yourself. What's that? Tyrannical.
You get gabbled.
Tyrannical. And then Todd Culp on Facebook, 30 minutes before she tells me to sit down, telling me that I'm crazy and I need help and I'm being a jerk because I didn't like the way that he worded his step. Well, ignore it. Be an adult. What's wrong with that? But no, they want to use the church to get in some wins. So we'll carry on and we'll come back to them again here in a little bit. Okay, so this is upsetting. John Poor lost. Freeman, I don't care for Freeman. I don't know if any Jeff Freeman is the one that gave Greg Winkler the standing ovation the other day when he did his what do you call it? The best Golden Globe performance in a city council meeting about Max Winkler. If you're going to tell the story, tell the facts. Make sure you tell them. And I want to commit suicide every day and give back Henry Kim his life. Okay, you know what? 22 veterans commit suicide every day. That's just a fact. You know, like I begged my government for help and people like Greg Winkler denied me. So sorry, I'm not impressed with his Golden Globe performance. And then Jennifer Culp telling me to sit down and shut up is another one. It's like, no.
So you're gonna let him come up there and address a social media post, but you're gonna tell Nicole to shut up about it.
And not just a social media post though. It was a murder. You know, like somebody got murdered. Like if I was Henry Kim's family,
and it's not even like you. It's not like you put some narrative with it. You pulled a news article.
I pulled a newspaper article.
A news article. Like literally like news stations covered it. Like if you're mad about what news stations said about it, then you need to address the news stations.
Herald Bulletin, or I don't even remember. I think it was RTV or something. So anyway, Jeff Freeman is not impressed me at all. Like he's kind of a goofy goober. I mean, people probably say I'm a goofy goober, and maybe I am. Maybe I do that. That's my guise. It's my disguise. I'm a goofy goober in disguise.
Hey, we can be whatever we want to be.
I'm actually a ninja. I'm secretly a ninja. Don't mess with me. Okay, District 3. I'm not impressed with Greg Graham either. Like, I'm sorry, folks. He might
You should put it up on the. You should put it up on the screen.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
I thought it was there.
I know.
Okay. Let's go up here. So this is what I was pointing at when I was talking to you. See, that's why I need co-hosts. So you can tell me that I wasn't talking for 30 minutes about something that didn't have nothing to do with price rights with China. Okay, so let's go back over here. So Jeff Freeman, he does not impress me. Let me show right there. This guy, 440. He won just by a few, but he has not done anything. If you came to my house, you've been to the house, Spring Hill Road. We had him out here asking him to get people on it to help fix the road so that people can get.
The road is terrible. The road really needs to be fixed.
We pay taxes and we can't get our road fixed, even though they were the ones that put the asphalt down. So they're
Right. And
supposed
I
to be
mean,
on
like, just getting
maintain.
in there regularly is like, I feel like it's hard enough. And then, like, on top of like the elements, like in the winter and stuff, like, I feel like that road is like really, they should prioritize that road.
Right. Okay, so here's Greg Graham. He's on the homeless task force. I'm not impressed with him. That Herald Bulletin article that they just wrote the other day talking about, oh, Greg Graham came out and he did so much help for Bingham Square. Well, no, Greg Graham showed up with no pen and no paper.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
we have him on video showing up with nothing.
So then I had to, like, I gave him my paper, my pen. I let him write stuff down. And then I showed him that I already had all that stuff wrote down. So I technically shared my information with them. And once again, they kicked me out of the process. They want me to gather all, they want to get the credit. They want me to gather all the information and then they get the credit. Well, it's not political. What they did to Bingham Square, him and David Ikes and them did to Bingham Square for the last couple of years was horrible. And yes, Anderson Housing Authority did help people get moved. Me and her did make up after the city council meeting where they talked about my Facebook posts and all this. But I'm just glad that people got help in the end. But it was way too hard. And we did go viral on the Bingham Square thing at 200,000 to 300,000 viewers in like a 72-hour period.
Yep.
And then now it's went back down. But whatever. We got people moved. And you know,
and that's all that matters, because that was the whole point, was we just wanted to get the people who needed it help.
If it wasn't for the people, some of those people would still be out there.
Yeah.
You know, like it took
I mean,
us
like so many like literally people were like making Facebook posts and bringing food, and like churches were bringing food too, and you know, like you were helping them get like stuff from the stores, and you like helped them move, and like that's a lot of stuff to do, like. You know what I mean? And like, it really doesn't matter what, honestly, when it comes down to it, like, I know like a lot of people said stuff about squatters, and that's not who you were helping. But if it was, even though
there were squatters there,
there's people,
they weren't all
no matter what, right? No matter what, it doesn't really matter. Like, people need help, dude. Like, life sometimes just like gets hard for people. So like, it's not really our place to judge. Like, if we have the opportunity to help, like, why not get the community together to do it? Like, that's what's like, you know, I don't know.
This
like,
is kind of sad to me right here, though. You know, like, as you're talking and I'm looking at this, like, nobody ran against Greg Graham. We need somebody in District 3 to step up against Greg Graham.
Where's District
next
3?
Season.
Yeah, I have no idea about anything about the districts yet. I've still yet to educate myself on that.
I have the maps somewhere. I'll have to put them online. I'll put them on the Facebook event later so you can see them. But nobody ran against him. Nobody ran against Ollie Dixon. Ollie Dixon, it could stay Council District 4. I mean, he actually grew on me in 2024. Like, I don't know if it's because some of my favorites got voted out, even though I don't feel like it's some shady stuff going on in City of Anderson. It's okay. Lance Stevenson, I didn't realize until the other day was a Democrat. I don't know why. I didn't realize he was a Democrat until recent. And that just whatever. I didn't like this guy necessarily either. Lance, I liked Lance until recently, when I realized that he's not as smart as I thought he was.
And he cusses and stuff. Why are you cussing? Why are you cussing up there? If I cussed up there at the podium, they would kick me out. They would give me the gavel.
Right.
I don't really care what it was. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so funny, like the double standards. It's just.
And Joe Newman, I know he's a solid name, but he falls asleep in council meetings. I think he's on a lot of medication.
I don't know who he is.
He's the little guy on the end that's like,
Ollie, or no?
No, he's at the very end, and he sits closest to the podium.
The really old man.
The old guy. Now, you know, sometimes age is better. Okay, sometimes age is better.
Wisdom, experience, whatever.
But I feel like Joe Newman at this point is a seat filler, and people are just voting for him because of name. Because he's really, I don't know. Well, cognitive. Somebody might want to do some cognitive tests on him at some point, because he says some of the off the wall stuff, and I need responsible adults, folks. I need responsible adults doing stuff. And this just, it saddens me.
Right, and like
So,
it would have been really nice to see someone like Rebecca get in there or something, because like, like maybe I just don't see it, but I don't really see anybody up there that does anything like hands on for the community, except for like, I guess when Greg Graham came to Bingham to help, whatever.
yeah, but that was once it
But
started going. Bingham had been out of
like,
power
I
for
feel like that's
several
what they should be
days.
doing, though. They should be out there and like seeing like what the community needs and
They
like
should have done
getting
that
feedback and like
way sooner in the season than
right.
2 days, or
Well, how
after
long
he
have all
started
been
doing
up?
this.
Have all of them been up there a long time, or?
Some of them have been up there every season. Some of them have been up there for, I don't even know the actual years. The newest ones, I don't know, because I think Mark Turner, this guy here, has been up there a couple times. But you know what? I think he's nothing more than a seat filler. Okay, he's sitting up there. He votes no on everything. No, no, no. What's your opinion? No, no, no. And his email doesn't work, but I think it's like Salty Dog. I think the other thing that I learned after seeing people's emails on the city website is they got weird Gmail. They need to have professional City of Anderson emails. I'm going to admit that at first, in the beginning, at the switchover, I was really concerned about Tiffany Harless being one of the youngest female candidates or politicians. I think historically, locally, I think she's one of the youngest. I wasn't sure how that was going to go. Okay. But Tiffany Harless has really came through. She showed up, showed out. She's really been standing up for the people.
I don't know if it was her or not that voted no on the Malarkey. Well, I'll have to go back and look and see which one it was, because I know it was one of the girls.
Since the beginning though, like maybe at the beginning some rocky, but I really say by the end of the year, this year.
Well, I have noticed that too, because I haven't really paid attention to the city stuff, the Anderson city, that much.
Right, once you got moved
during
away.
Malarkey, I did, and then in those most recent videos, and actually when I was at the one where I stood up and addressed Greg Winkler back there calling people drama queens, she had like said something, and then the one about the ARPA fund, she was sticking up for people. So
the one on the ARPA
I feel like she's more vocal, at least, you know what I'm saying,
now,
from when I
she's
first started
doing
seeing
great
her.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, like really, really, really. Okay, so I think Rachel Landers, I'm not impressed with Rachel. I haven't been impressed with Rachel since she used the homeless community stuff as her platform. Her and Greg Graham were meeting behind the scenes prior to even winning the election, which was sad for me because I feel like there was a lot of behind closed doors things going on that I don't feel like should be happening. I think it was almost like they knew she was going to win. You know, how would you know that? Anyway, so I want to show you this so people know how mad she had me. See. So they were meeting. I think it's on my personal page because me and her had a falling out. She doesn't know how to behave on social media. And then she uses her position as like, look at me. You guys didn't put me here. God put me here. No, that may be true. God helped you get there, but the voters put you there unless somebody cheated. And then that's a whole nother story for another day.
Right.
I have a whole thing. And actually, I'm going to show my Facebook right here. So we got all these different topics with all kinds of pictures. Here's Max Winkler and the murder of Henry Kim. This is Greg Winkler's son. City task force information has to be updated. Somebody stole my.
Isn't that stuff all on your website? Or no?
Some of it, some stuff's more here than it is on the website because I'm still working some kinks out on the website. But for quick reference guide, these are kind of broke into segments. But I have one all about don't trust Rachel Landers. But I don't know where it's at. That's the only downside to, okay, Tim Funk Saga. Oh, there's my.
I mean, I just think it's weird, like someone who is. I mean, I remember during Malarkey, she had like stuff up about like nature and like enjoying stuff like that, and I just don't know why she would be comfortable with a place like Malarkey that I don't know. I gave her facts
Because
that it was
it was
tied
a
to ISIS, and that's just concerning that anybody would look at that and then still say, I don't think they're guilty of anything.
it's
Red
right
flags for
there.
me.
Okay,
But
here it is. So this was the whole conversation, but this is the one where this right here showed me everything I needed to know about them, right? Because this was a meeting, and it shows you October 24th, 2023. Well, she didn't win until November, so they had formed this illegal task force. See, there's Greg Graham is on there. Jerry Landers was on there. I am not a fan of Jerry Landers and Aspire. Anyway, all these names had to change because we went up against them, which is another story about the resolution for the homeless stuff. But, I never lied about anything. I put on there, we encourage everyone to participate at their own level. It's a we the people group, red, yellow, black, brown, or white. All people are precious on my sites. Okay. Like we coexist. And she was like acting like I lied about some of the stuff that I do. No, she tried to use my homeless community coalition as a platform to get voted in, and that's sad.
yeah, I just don't think that's like, that's another, that's like, I can't really say like abuse of power, but I feel like it is like you're exploiting vulnerable people because you want, and that's what exploiting is. Like
Right.
like you're doing it to gain something. So they're doing it to gain votes. Like that's not okay, I don't think, unless they're actually out there doing stuff too. But I still, either way, they shouldn't use it to get momentum. That's just not. It goes back to you should be doing it because you want to do it, not because you get a paycheck or not because it gets you votes. Just because that's your goal. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. So, okay. So here, the other thing, it's going to be interesting. These people are now, these 3 won. So the switchover involved putting them up there. I have an events on Facebook dealing with the local city council. I'll just take you back over here. Ooh, Mad Gap posted something. We'll have to, that might be a good post, but here's this here. This is the new council switchover. Okay, you got Mark Turner here on the right. This is Tiffany Harless right here, Ollie Dixon, Jeff Freeman, President Lance Stevenson, Jennifer Culp, Rachel Landers, Greg Graham, and Joe Newman right there. And then Sheila's down here, the Steve Anderson admin, or clerk's office sits down here.
So that's everybody for this year?
Yeah. So that's not changing, okay, for 2025 switchover.
Right.
These aren't changing. The issue that we have, I mean, and everybody can argue about the Catherine Callahan situation if they want to. But Catherine, like, my thing about Catherine, stuff that I like about her, we both her dad was an alcoholic and died when she was young. My dad was an alcoholic drug addict and died when I was a little bit older, but I still was affected by that negativity in my life. And she had to deal with that as a young child. And she wound up, I think, turning into a pretty impressive woman despite some of her setbacks that she's had. And people, people aren't perfect. Nobody's perfect. She's going to have whatever, but she was a way better choice for an auditor than Chapter 13 Colts, right? But now you got here, right here, Jennifer Culp was in the middle of a Chapter 13 bankruptcy when she ran again in 2023 and won. Nobody, 11,000 or 1,100 people voted for her. No, I guess nobody was paying attention to her, how she accounts for. So that means that they blamed it on the 2008 homeowner when everything crashed in 2008. It's 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like 2023. Well, it's been 20 years. No, how many is that? 14? Whatever. Math again. I haven't had enough coffee, even though I'm still drinking my coffee. I don't want to do math right now. Okay. So that's been a few years. So I just thought Catherine was a better choice. And let's go to, okay, that's 2022. Okay, 2024. Now let's go back to the 2024 screen. Okay, so remember, if you want to look, you go here, Madison County. Well, actually, go back here. So you go to the Madison County, Indiana election results, click on election results. This pops up. I've already got it on another screen, but the last one, 11/24. Let's see. Yep, this one right here. So in this one, in the November 5th election, more people voted. It was a pretty good little turnout. But Madison County as a whole tends to vote Republican, while the city of Anderson leans Democrat. Even though, I don't know, it's so confusing. We talked about Robbie Slaughter earlier with the Victoria Sparks moving forward. Straight party. There's people, as you age and we grow older, we got to get away from just, the parties are supposed to be serving us, not us serving the party. Okay. So this kind of bothers me that so many people just vote straight ticket, because the parties really aren't for the people anymore. Like they may have been back when things started, many, like hundreds of years ago. But currently, I'm not impressed with a lot of elected officials or appointed officials or the staff members. They're kind of mean.
Yep, I agree.
All the way up. I mean, Kyle Pierce hasn't done anything to me. I'm not opposed to him necessarily. I don't know who these guys are. I think I've met Jim Banks once. I will be going to the Indiana State House here soon for like Veterans Day. So it should be interesting. The Braun Beckwith saga, this is going to be an interesting little switch with the Braun winning as the governor. I voted for Rainwater, even though I think McCormick, she had some good stuff. Whatever. I have no idea what I am anymore. I feel like the redheaded stepchild. I've been disowned by everybody, and I'm just trying to find my way in life, guys. And I don't know. So
yeah,
this whole
I don't
stuff,
identify with a party.
we're learning too. I want to say that I lean Republican for the most part. I mean, I've been a Republican. I try to stay balanced and conservative, so that whatever choice I make isn't going to hurt like 1,000 people. Like I don't even want to hurt one person in my decisions. I'm always trying to find the best. Okay, I see what happened there. The best option, okay, for everybody involved. I actually voted for Destiny Wells. I thought, because Todd Rokita, he has not done anything for me at all. Like, I know other people say they like him. I think we know some people that are on his staff, and people, but that I feel like it's more political. Like, I don't really like him. He's kind of arrogant. I think he spent too much time in other places than actually helping people or voters and taxpayers here in Indiana. I've filed complaints. I'm still waiting on answers. And usually he teams up with the politicians because he's really there to protect them, not us. And then county auditor, Todd Culp, he beat Catherine in the primaries. But once again, I don't really know how much. I am so disappointed with the Madison County Election Board at this point that it wouldn't surprise me if they were cheating, like, at all. I mean,
They do heinous stuff, dude. They do heinous stuff.
Another subject for another day. I'm gonna put some muscle rub on. My neck's hurting while I'm sitting here. Okay. I use my camera to put that on. Maybe I'm a little country ghetto or demure. I'm not demure. Okay, go down. Madison. I don't know. I like Glazebrook. He seemed like a pretty nice guy. Anderson School Board just got to switch over. Holly Wren's one back in. She's in. But here's my favorite. Kenneth. Okay, I was wrong. But
Hold on. Oh, never mind.
My numbers here. So Kenneth Hodson was 7,681. Okay, fine. But Martha Green, baby, I helped with this number. I know I did. My Hodson is a liar sign because he is a liar. He cheated to win in 2020. I don't care what anybody says. And somebody committed real estate fraud in 2004 and tried to leave me with the bill. And that's just not cool. I'm still mad about it.
I'm glad he lost.
I'm glad he lost too. Okay, now this is where I was going. I was looking for the count. So last year, the city council switched over. This year, 2025 switchover is going to we get Daddy Culp, who also helped Jennifer Culp. They filed the Chapter 13 bankruptcy together. Okay, together. You can't have one without the other.
Is that wow? So we have their son on county council, and we have the mom on city council.
Yeah, so they have the three most highest positions in the city and county right now.
Yep, and then the dad is the auditor. That's crazy. Hi.
Christy, I like Christy. I think she's going to do good. I was really hoping for Rebecca to win and Fred Reed.
I know.
But that's where we're at there with the switchover. So if anybody's really interested in finding out who won, this gives you the whole report for everything Madison County.
Hey, Ben, you're going to fall, dude.
So, beyond the ballot, what's predictions? Do you want to take a swing at anything, or are you gonna stay neutral for the moment?
I think I will stay neutral, I guess, unless I think of something by the time you're done.
Good answer. See, ding, ding. I'm kind of interested in how this is going to play out because a lot of people don't understand is nepotism. Okay, and nepotism is not good. I mean, okay, so here, let's switch over here so you can see my screen now. Nepotism and political dynasty. Okay, so the Culp family now is turning into a political dynasty in Madison County. And I'm having a hard time believing that they are the best choices for those positions and that there was nobody else that could do it. It just don't make sense.
I don't know. Yeah, I just don't think. I don't know.
Okay, so political
the way they represent themselves. I don't know about the son. I've never seen anything really about him. I can't really speak on him, but I do not like the way that the two parents treat people.
It's nothing personal towards him. Okay,
No.
so like when I don't have a personal issue with Jonathan Culp per se. Okay, I'm sure he's a really nice person. Okay, but the issues that I have is his age. Okay, he's 25, and not saying that you can't be a politician because I know you're younger too, Bree. Okay, I'm not saying that. But I think with him, like going for the county, okay, like why didn't you go for the city? Why didn't you go for something lower? And then like he is homeschooled. Okay, I don't even know what really. I think there's some. That's how a lot of the several of the moms on that won these seats. Like Rachel Landers was a housewife. Nothing wrong with housewives either, but I mean, it takes more. It just takes a little bit more than just saying, "Hey, you know what? I want to grow up and be a politician one day." No, there's a lot.
Because also I have never even heard of him really, other than that he's just like their son. So
Right,
it's like
and
I
then
didn't see anything about him. I didn't see like stuff
Harold
about
Bullock.
him being out there in the community or nothing. Like it's almost like it just seems like because he has a well-known name, like it helped him get some more like traction.
Right. So if you read like the definition here of like what nepotism is the act of granting an advantage, privilege, or position to relatives or friends in an occupation or field. For instance, business, politics, academia, entertainment, religion, or healthcare. In concept, it is similar to cronyism. Okay. But if you scroll down here, it gives you political nepotism. Okay. And nepotism is a common accusation in politics when a relative of a powerful figure, Jennifer Culp, ascends to a similar power seemingly without appropriate qualifications. That's my concern. I think Jonathan Culp's above his head. It's above his pay grade. I mean, if you're wet behind the ears, you just got married, you haven't really had life yet, how are you going to try to run a county? Like millions of dollars? Like bank account book, and your mom and dad couldn't even balance their bank account books. So,
Right. Well, that's like those are factors that do concern me. Like, I mean, if you look at everything, like it is concerning. But hopefully, I guess we just have to hope
like
that he's
he
not
might
like
stay
his
neutral.
parents. But
He might stay neutral, and I would rather see him try to stay neutral on a lot of things than try to make a bunch of decisions that could backfire on his entire family. If he holds that seat and he votes, like good decision each time that he places a vote, okay, I'll change my mind on it. But I'm concerned about the three highest positions in the county going to a cult.
right.
And Jennifer's a little aggressive.
I agree.
Todd's a little passive aggressive, and he's mean on social media to people. Even though he's kind of like a goofy goober. He just does stuff, and I'm concerned that he won't be able to. Oh well, you go back to who turned in the wrong budget back in 2023. I couldn't get anybody to admit. Like, I think Gardner blamed it on Culp. I think Culp's response, he took a neutral response. But I think in the end, I got Gardner to kind of admit that he submitted the original budget, which that's another video for another day. You got to be paying attention to the county stuff. And maybe when Catherine gets on next week, we can go in a little bit more detail on the county stuff. So yeah, but my concern is that wherever there is nepotism, corruption exists. And if I think they've kind of sold us down the river. I think a lot of the local politicians have sold us down the river.
SOS.
And so it tells you, like, nepotism is a form of corruption that threatens the main components of states, since it's a phenomenon that poses a real threat to stability. Okay. So anyway, look up political nepotism.
Right.
Okay, so we spent like an hour on that. I think I'm going to go ahead and move on a little bit. Do you want to take a break for a minute and then come back?
I don't care.
I think I got it.
Okay.
And actually, we don't have to do it right now. Let's